Boy asks Florist to swap sandwich for a bouquet, and when she follows him. Nathan was a 10-year-old boy with brown eyes and tousled hair that fell over his forehead. He lived in a suburban home with faded blue walls and a neglected front yard. Inside, the home was equally gloomy, especially for Nathan. His foster mother, Donna, was a middle-aged woman whose presence oscillated between emotional distance and abundant criticism. She notoriously favored her biological son, Luke, a 12-year-old boy with a sturdy build and a confident smile that was rarely directed at Nathan. Luke had the bigger bedroom, the newest toys, and Donna's full attention. On a typical Wednesday afternoon, Nathan returned from school and dropped his worn backpack at the entrance. He could hear Luke's laughter coming from upstairs, where he and his friends were playing video games on the latest console that Donna had bought. Nathan climbed the stairs, trying to go unnoticed, but the floorboards creaked under his steps. As he passed by Luke's room, he stopped, drawn by the victory shouts of his foster brother. Standing at the door, Nathan watched, wishing he could join them, but a glance from Luke was enough to remind him that he wasn't welcome. Disheartened, Nathan continued down the hallway to his small room at the end of the corridor. His space was plain, with unpainted walls and old furniture. The only decoration was a drawing he had made of a smiling, united family, taped to the wall beside his bed. That night, during dinner, the contrast in family dynamics became even more apparent. Donna served Luke first, filling his plate with the best portions, while Nathan got the leftovers. Conversations about Luke's day dominated the table, and Nathan shrank in his chair, quietly chewing his food, feeling more invisible by the minute. This was Nathan's life, marked by a constant sense of not belonging and isolation within his own home. His only refuge was school, but even there things weren't much better. The next day, Nathan's school felt like a battlefield to him, where every break was a fight for survival. The playground, with its cracked asphalt and rusty fences, was dominated by groups of students forming small islands of conversation and games. Nathan, however, kept to the fringes, his gaze often on the ground. That Thursday morning, Nathan found himself in the middle of a bullying incident that started with a soccer ball intentionally kicked in his direction. The ball hit his back with an impact that made him stumble. When he turned around, he saw James, a bigger and older boy, walking toward him with a mocking smile. "Hey, Nathan," shouted James. "Can't even stand up straight? What kind of boy are you?" Laughter erupted around him, and Nathan felt the heat of embarrassment rise in his face. He tried to back away, but James continued, "Come on, take a walk so we can see how clumsy you are." Nathan started walking, his steps uncertain, each movement under the cruel gaze. James and his friends mocked every stumble, and the audience grew. Nathan's heart raced, his ears buzzing with laughter and insults. That's when Aiden appeared. Taller and visibly more confident than Nathan, Aiden carried himself with a presence that commanded respect. He walked straight up to the group and positioned himself beside Nathan, his gaze fixed on James. "That's enough, James," Aiden said firmly. "Leave him alone. There's nothing funny going on here." James, surprised by the intervention, hesitated. He looked at Aiden, then at the other students who were beginning to lose interest in the scene, now that the entertainment had been disrupted. "Whatever, Aiden, you always ruin the fun," James grumbled, before walking away with his group. Aiden put a hand on Nathan's shoulder. "Are you okay?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Nathan just nodded, unable to find the words. He was used to facing bullying alone. Having someone defend him was new, and a wave of relief washed over him. "Thanks, Aiden. I really don't know what I would have done." "Hey, that's what friends are for. Come on, I'll walk you to class," Aiden said with an encouraging smile. As they walked together, Nathan felt the weight of the incident lessen. Aiden's presence at his side was like a shield, And for the first time in a long time, he didn't feel completely alone. In the days following the bullying incident, Nathan and Aiden's friendship significantly strengthened. They began to spend more time together, not just at school, but outside of it as well. Aiden became not just a protector for Nathan, but also a true friend who encouraged him to open up more and share his feelings. On a sunny afternoon, Aiden invited Nathan to go to the local park. As they walked side by side, making small talk, Aiden noticed Nathan's hesitation to talk about his home life. "You don't talk much about your family," observed Aiden, casting a curious glance at Nathan. "Everything okay at home?" Nathan bit his lip, pondering how much he should reveal. "Oh, it's normal, I guess," he replied, his voice a barely audible whisper. Aiden stopped and looked directly at Nathan. "Nathan, if something's wrong, you can tell me. We're friends, right?" Real friends. Encouraged by Aiden's sincerity, Nathan finally opened up about the dynamics at his home, describing how he felt overlooked and less loved compared to Luke. Hearing this, Aiden was visibly upset. "That's not right, Nathan. You deserve to be treated with love and respect just like anyone else," Aiden said firmly. "I know, but it's complicated," Nathan sighed, looking down. "I just wish things were different." Aiden placed a reassuring hand on Nathan's shoulder. "We might not be able to change everything right now, but you're not alone in this. I'm here for you, always." In the days that followed, Aiden made sure to include Nathan in more activities, from soccer games with other friends to study sessions after school. He also started inviting Nathan over for dinner at his house on weekends, where Nathan was warmly welcomed by Aiden's family. These experiences were new to Nathan, filling him with a sense of belonging he rarely felt. Through these moments, Nathan began to see what it meant to have genuine support. Aiden's kindness and loyalty showed him that friendship could be a source of strength and comfort. Gradually, this began to change the way Nathan saw himself. He started to believe that maybe he could deserve more than the indifference he received at home. On a Saturday morning, with the sun shining through the clouds, Nathan decided to do something special, something he hoped could change the way his foster mother, Donna, saw him. With a ham and cheese sandwich carefully wrapped in aluminum foil, he headed to the local florist shop of Miranda and William, a place Aiden had often mentioned for its beauty and the kindness of the owners. Upon entering the shop, Nathan was immediately enveloped by the sweet aroma of fresh flowers and the colorful sight of meticulously arranged bouquets. Miranda, a middle-aged woman with a warm smile and gentle eyes, was rearranging some roses when she noticed Nathan standing timidly near the entrance. "Hello, young man. Can I help you with something?" Miranda asked, approaching with a welcoming smile. Nathan, a bit nervous, held the sandwich more firmly. I was wondering if I could trade this sandwich for a bouquet of flowers," he explained, hoping his unusual request wouldn't be rejected. Miranda looked surprised at the sandwich, but her face soon softened. "What an interesting trade, and lucky for me I was just getting hungry. Let's see what we can do," she said, guiding Nathan down the aisle of flowers. She selected various flowers, each adding color and meaning to the bouquet that began to take shape in her skilled hands. "Each flower has a meaning, you know, like these roses, which represent love and care," she explained as she worked. William, a sturdy man with a neatly trimmed mustache and hands that told stories of hard work, joined them. "It looks like we have a young gentleman here trying to make a sweet gesture," he commented, giving Nathan a wink. With the bouquet finally ready, Nathan thanked her timidly and left the florist shop. Moved by a curiosity she couldn't ignore, Miranda decided to discreetly follow Nathan to see where he would take the flowers. Nathan walked back home, his heart filled with a mix of hope and anxiety. Upon arriving, he found Donna in the living room reading a book. With a deep sigh, he approached and held out the bouquet. "For you, Mum," Nathan said, his voice nearly a whisper. Donna glanced at the flowers and, without a word, turned her attention back to the book, completely ignoring Nathan's gesture. Miranda, watching from a distance, felt a pang in her heart at the rejection. She approached the door, her mind already deciding to intervene in the life of this boy who clearly needed more than what he was receiving at home. In the days following the disappointment with Donna, Nathan found himself inexplicably drawn back to Miranda and William's florist shop. The way Miranda had treated him, the kindness she had shown by accepting his sandwich in exchange for a bouquet, resonated in his mind, offering him a glimpse of a type of care he rarely experienced. On a Tuesday afternoon, after school, Nathan decided to visit the florist shop again. When he entered, he was greeted by the comforting smell of moist earth and fresh flowers. Miranda was at the counter, wrapping a floral arrangement in decorative paper. "Nathan, it's so good to see you again," she exclaimed, her face lighting up with a smile. "How are you, dear?" "I'm okay, I guess," Nathan replied hesitantly. I just wanted to see the flowers again." "Well, you've come to the right place," Miranda said, laughing softly. "Would you like to help me prepare some arrangements? I'd love to have your company." Nathan nodded, his heart warming at the invitation. In the minutes that followed, Miranda began to teach Nathan about the different types of flowers, their care needs and meanings. William joined them shortly after, bringing with him a sense of humor that made Nathan laugh for the first time in a long while. As the weeks went by, the florist shop became a haven for Nathan. He learned to care for the plants, discovering a passion for something that depended on him to thrive. Miranda and William treated Nathan as if he were part of their family, something he greatly valued. They encouraged him to express his thoughts and feelings, something he rarely did at home. On one occasion, while they were arranging some violets together, Miranda gently asked, "Nathan, how are things at home? You seem quieter today." Nathan hesitated, but the trust he had built with Miranda encouraged him to open up. "It's not great," he admitted. "Sometimes I feel like I don't matter much there." Miranda stopped what she was doing and looked at Nathan with an expression of deep compassion. "You matter a lot, Nathan, and you'll always matter here with me and William. We're here for you." This support played a crucial role in Nathan's life. He began to see the florist shop not just as a place to escape from problems, but as a symbolic home where he was valued and loved. As autumn arrived, bringing with it leaves that painted the sidewalks, the tension in Nathan's home grew palpably. The differences in how he and Luke were treated became more glaring, and Nathan's feelings of isolation reached a critical point. One particularly tense evening, while the family was dining, Luke started talking excitedly about an upcoming school camp, an event he was looking forward to. Donna listened with a proud smile, engaging with him about every detail. Nathan, feeling a twinge of desire to also participate in the camp, timidly intervened. I would also like to go to the camp, if possible." Donna gave him a brief look, her expression barely disguising her disdain. "Oh, Nathan, this is for students who excel. Besides, it's expensive. I don't think it's for you." Donna's words, spoken with such indifference, deeply hurt Nathan. He lowered his head, fiddling with his fork on the plate as he fought back tears. Luke, noticing the tension, cast a pitying glance at Nathan, but said nothing, returning to his conversation with their mother. Later that night, Nathan, unable to sleep and disturbed by the dinner conversation, decided he could not continue living like this. He thought of Miranda and William, of the care and acceptance he found with them, and a plan began to form in his mind. The next morning, Nathan visited the florist shop earlier than usual. Miranda was watering some plants when he entered, her expression laden with concern. "Good morning, Nathan. Are you all right? You seem worried," Miranda observed, approaching him. Nathan took a deep breath, his words rushing out. "Miranda, I don't want to live with Donna anymore. I was wondering, maybe, could I spend more time here with you? Maybe even live here?" The surprise was evident on Miranda's face, but it quickly gave way to a thoughtful expression. She gently touched Nathan's shoulder. "Let's talk to William about this, Nathan. You know you're like a son to us." When William joined them, Nathan repeated his request. The couple exchanged looks, understanding the seriousness of the situation. After a brief discussion, they agreed to help Nathan find a solution, beginning the process of considering official adoption. "We'll do what's necessary for you to feel part of our family, Nathan. You deserve to be happy," William stated, his voice conveying both a promise and a commitment. Nathan's decision to seek a new family with Miranda and William triggered a series of events that required courage, patience, and determination. Recognizing the seriousness of the situation, Miranda and William began to learn about the legal processes necessary for adoption. First, they consulted a family law attorney, a woman named Mrs. Lopes, who had a reputation for fervently advocating for children's rights. In her office filled with books and documents, Mrs. Lopes listened attentively to Nathan's story and assessed the situation. "We'll need all possible documentation about Nathan's current situation, including school reports and any medical records that might indicate neglect or unequal treatment at home," explained Mrs. Lopez. "Moreover, we need to prepare Nathan for possible interviews with social workers who will certainly want to understand his feelings and desires regarding this change." Miranda and William nodded, understanding the magnitude of the challenge ahead. They assured Mrs. Lopes that they would do whatever was necessary, starting by collecting the documents and preparing Nathan emotionally for what was to come. In the following days, the florist shop became a center of activity, not only for business, but also for legal and planning purposes. While Miranda took care of the flower arrangements, William dedicated himself to compiling the necessary documentation. They also spent several nights talking with Nathan about the process, ensuring he understood and agreed with each step. "Nathan, you know this can be a long and sometimes complicated process, right?" William asked during one of these conversations. "But we want you to know that we are with you every step of the way. No matter what happens, you are part of our family now." Nathan, feeling a mix of nervousness and hope, simply nodded. "I know, and I want this. I feel like I belong with you." As the date of the adoption trial approached, a social worker visited the florist shop. She was a kind woman named Mrs. Mendez, who spent hours talking with Nathan, trying to understand his feelings and assessing the environment that Miranda and William provided. She observed the interaction between them, the atmosphere of care and support, and carefully noted her impressions. Miranda and William were also interviewed, where they expressed their sincere desire to adopt Nathan and provide him with a safe and loving home. Mrs. Mendez, moved by the clear emotional connection between them, promised she would make a favorable report. "You clearly love Nathan, and he loves you," she commented at the end of her visit. "This will count a lot in the trial." The day of the adoption trial dawned grey and rainy, as if the very sky reflected the tension and importance of the event. Nathan, dressed in a blue shirt that Miranda had bought especially for the occasion, felt a mix of nervousness and hope. Miranda and William were by his side, offering encouraging smiles, but their eyes also revealed a certain anxiety. In the courtroom, the atmosphere was solemn and somewhat intimidating. The judge, a stern figure, surveyed the room with a serious expression as everyone took their places. Mrs. Lopez, the attorney for Miranda and William, meticulously organized her papers, while on the other side of the courtroom, Donna was accompanied by her own lawyer, a man with rigid features. When the judge called the session to order, the silence was almost palpable. Mrs. Lopez was the first to speak, presenting Nathan's case clearly and compassionately. She described his living circumstances with Donna, highlighting reports of emotional neglect and the lack of a supportive environment. Nathan has found in Miranda and William not just caregivers, but a true family that wishes to formalize their bond through adoption, argued Mrs. Lopez while Nathan listened, holding Miranda's hand for comfort. Donna had the opportunity to respond, and her lawyer argued that she had always provided Nathan with a safe home and that her intentions had been misunderstood. Donna, with a voice that trembled slightly, insisted that she had done the best she could under the circumstances. The most pivotal moment of the trial came when Nathan was called to testify. He walked to the stand, his posture shy, but as he began to speak, his voice grew in strength. Nathan spoke about his life with Donna, about feeling invisible and undervalued, and contrasted this with the love and support he received from Miranda and William. "With them, I feel as if I truly belong to a family," Nathan said, his eyes meeting those of Miranda and William, who looked at him with tears in their eyes. After the closing arguments, the judge called for a brief recess before announcing the decision. The break seemed to drag on indefinitely, with everyone in the courtroom waiting with bated breath. Finally, the judge returned and delivered his decision. "Having considered all the testimony and evidence presented, it is my decision that the petition for adoption by Miranda and William be granted." The relief and joy that followed were palpable. Nathan ran into the arms of Miranda and William, now his parents, not just in heart, but also by law. Tears of happiness marked their faces as they thanked Mrs. Lopez and Mrs. Mendez, whose efforts had helped secure a better future for Nathan. After the adoption trial, Nathan began a new chapter in his life, one filled with new possibilities, but also adjustments and learning. Miranda and William were now officially his parents, and with this new reality came the task of transforming the emotional bond they shared into a daily and functional family dynamic. In the first days after the adoption, Nathan felt both euphoric and a bit overwhelmed. Moving into Miranda and William's house meant not just having a new room, but also new routines and, most importantly, a new sense of belonging. Miranda had carefully decorated Nathan's room with light, cheerful colors for the walls and furnished it with a comfortable bed, a desk for him to study at, and shelves full of books they thought he might like. "We want you to feel at home, Nathan," said Miranda as she guided Nathan through his new room. "This is your space, and you can decorate it however you want." William was equally involved, showing Nathan how to take care of the garden, which quickly became a favorite activity for both. They spent hours outside planting new flowers and tending to the plants, with William teaching Nathan not only about gardening, but also about life, sharing stories from his own childhood and the values he hoped to pass on to Nathan. "See, each plant here has its own needs, just like people," William explained. "Taking care of them teaches us patience and responsibility, and they reward us by flourishing. It's like our family now, growing together." At school, Nathan began to show notable improvements. With a stable and loving home environment, his academic performance improved. Miranda and William made it a point to help with homework and attend school meetings, showing an active interest in his education and well-being. Socially, Nathan also found new confidence. Encouraged by the constant support of his new parents, he began to make new friends, and his friendship with Aiden continued to thrive. Aiden often came over to his new home, where the two boys spent hours playing in the backyard or working on school projects together. However, not every day was easy. Nathan sometimes struggled with feelings of guilt for leaving Donna, despite his previous unhappiness. Miranda and William were sensitive to these complex emotions and made an effort to talk openly about his feelings, assuring Nathan that it was normal to feel torn. "It's normal to feel everything you're feeling, Nathan," Miranda would say during these conversations. "Making big changes in our life can bring up many different feelings, and that's okay. The important thing is that you talk about them and know that we are here for you, no matter what." Nathan's adoption was sealed not only in documents and in the hearts of his new family, but also with a celebration that brought together friends and neighbors. Miranda and William organized a small party in their backyard, decorated with colorful flowers from the florist shop and balloons dancing in the wind. The backyard was alive with laughter and lively conversations. A table was set with an assortment of snacks and sweets, and at the center, a large chocolate cake with the inscription, "Welcome to the family, Nathan," in vibrant letters. Nathan, dressed in a new shirt and jeans, seemed to overflow with happiness, his eyes sparkling every time someone came to greet him or give him a warm hug. Aidan was there, of course, along with other friends from Nathan's school, all enjoying the festive atmosphere and the sense of community that enveloped the event. Miranda and William mingled among the guests, sharing stories and expressing their gratitude for everyone's presence and support. In a quiet moment, William called for the guests' attention to make a toast. Holding a glass of juice, he spoke with emotion. "We want to thank all of you for being here today to celebrate a very special moment in our lives. Nathan's arrival in our family fills us with joy and hope. He has shown us the true meaning of courage, and we are incredibly proud to call him our son." Miranda, standing by William, added with tears in her eyes, "Nathan, you have brought a new light into our lives. Every day by your side is a gift, and we promise to always offer you all the love and support you deserve. You have taught us so much about love." Moved, Nathan stepped forward. "Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Mum and Dad, for everything. I never thought I would find a family like you. I am so happy to be here." The party continued as the sky slowly turned to night, and the atmosphere was filled with hope and new beginnings. Guests danced, laughed, and celebrated not just Nathan's adoption, but the forming of new bonds that would define the future for all of them. As the evening fell, Nathan sat on the garden swing, looking up at the stars beginning to twinkle in the night sky. Miranda joined him, wrapping him in a gentle embrace. Together they shared the moment, reflecting on the journey they had traveled and dreaming of the days to come. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. See you in the next story.